it's kind of like a shoulder to cry on. Is always somebody that's always been around for her. And I guess he had a couple girlfriends, and just I guess he's not hadn't had much luck, I guess, in that department as far as like keeping girlfriends, and just him and Nikki have always been good friends.
Just platonic friends.
That's
as far as you know.
As much as I knew.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think they just been friends for a long time, especially up in oil field, North Dakota, or whatever he's working now. I think either Wyoming, they go all over the place.
When Sandy and Frank lived in the house for 15 months, what was that like?
It was, it was tough. You want me to wait or no? Okay. It was tough, because go from just me and Shanann and Bella and Cece to 2 other people, and then now 4 dogs.
Right.
Yeah, Onyx he's a terror, 100 pounds of just heat-seeking missile everywhere, and it was cool having more people around, but it was stressful.
Yeah.
Because with Shanann, having 2 dominant personalities in the house, with her mom there, it was kind of like what her mom would tell her kind of how to raise the kids sometimes, or do this, do that, whenever they were sick, she was like, all right, rub peroxide on their feet, they'll be fine. Just like, what? It's okay. And I wouldn't do it, and Sandy was like, just do that, Chris. It's okay. But it's just little things like that, and it was like a clash every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every time I got home, I didn't know if Shanann was pissed or if she was okay. Because when they first got there, they didn't have a job yet, and so they're just around all the time. But then once they got jobs and stuff, I think it was a little better for Shanann because they weren't around the house all day. But it was definitely stressful, just vacuuming every other day.
Yeah. And
just cooking was great. That was awesome. But I was always because they were down in the basement, so I was always really trying to keep the girls upstairs while they were sleeping, so they're running around downstairs, and I didn't want them to wake up. And I know Frank always told me that waking up Sandy early is not good. So it was just, just kind of walking on eggshells a lot.
Yeah, it was stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that stressed your marriage at the time, or?
It was 16 months. It was 15, 16 months.
Yeah.
It was a long time. It was great around the holiday times because they were already there, and all that was great.
Sure.
Yeah, it definitely. We never really had much alone time.
Yeah.
Because you always had to kind of plan it out. So.
Yeah. What was their purpose for living out there?
They just wanted to be closer to the kids.
Okay.
Just because they're, we FaceTime a lot, but, it's not the same as,
Right.
But 2 kids, it's hard to fly back and forth. When they went back to North Carolina this past time, it was the first time Cece's been there. She was 3.
Yeah.
First time her brother ever met her.
So were they trying to move to Colorado permanently, or they just?
They were thinking about it at that point in time.
Okay.
But Frank would have stayed. He didn't want to leave. Sandy wanted to leave.
She wanted to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a matter of they knew their house wasn't being taken care of, and they wanted to go back, and because they had put their house up for sale for a little while, but never bought.
Okay.
What about your financial stresses?
Yeah, the bankruptcy was something I never thought was going to happen. I think that was back in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. But I never thought that was going to happen. And I never thought, a lot of it was from the wedding because they just put it all on credit cards. And so it was just, and then the doctor bills from endoscopies and just girls seemed like they were sick every month. It seemed like some type of ear infection, which to figure out was just put the tubes in their ears and stuff. There was different operations here, a couple overnight stays in the hospital for breathing and stuff like that. And so it was just, it all mounted up. I never thought it was that far gone, but
Was any of that from Shannon's neck surgery, or are those bills pretty well paid up?
Well, I think the bankruptcy never touch the medical part of it because you have to be like specify the medical part of it, medical bankruptcy, and then there's like regular bankruptcy.
Oh.
I don't think bankruptcy ever touches like student loans or medical stuff. You have to like be specific with that.
Okay.
But I think it just took away like a lot of the furniture that we had bought, and then a couple other things inside the house. To kind of alleviate a lot of the. It took. We had to make the house payment up by phone every month, and I had to listen to the bankruptcy spiel like every time, and it's just like I didn't know how long it was going to take. But apparently it was. Once you're in bankruptcy, it's pretty much you never get out of it.
Yeah.
It seemed it felt like.
But weren't you guys behind on your mortgage? Even when I talked to you?
Earlier, in I think December 2017, and then January, February, March 2018. That's when we took the 401k out, the loan out to pay for that.
How was it that you were spending so much money? What was it being spent on?
Just, kids and just other bills that we had, and I knew the car was getting paid for by the bell, but I never really asked to see I didn't even have access to the bank account in my phone.
Oh.
So I never really asked to see what it looked like how far. I just know she'd call me and tell me, hey, can you pay the mortgage today? I'm like, yeah, cool. And that's from my little 4-wheeler incident where I sold it without actually paying it off yet, and she thought no, you're never touching the accounts ever. So I'm like, okay, that's cool with me. But I never saw the account or what was in there. I just hey, there's when I worked at Longmont Ford, I got my check, I just brought it there.
Yeah.
So,
There was a hair care company, I think it's called Monat. Does that ring a bell? Do you know anything about that? Like maybe hair dye? I don't know. Looks like do you know she did like an auto order through that company, had stuff delivered for hair, any kind of hair care product or hair care dye?
not something. She had little. There was something like a little gift pack she had delivered once every month, or once every 2 months. Not like a different array of different products in it.
Don't remember where it's from. Okay.
We said Monet.
Monat, M-O-N-A-T. No.
Well,
Okay. There was an order that was made, like $251. That's why I asked if it was like an auto order type
it
thing.
might have been an auto order.
Yeah,
It might have been something that I know that Nicole Atkinson, she's into all that stuff. Maybe Shanann got her. Maybe Shanann got her something, or maybe it was something she recommended.
Okay. How about the HOA thing? What happened there?
She was mailing to the wrong address. They changed her address, and she'd mailed to the wrong address for a year. And then we got a letter in the mail where we'd been sued over it. We had to pay our HOAs for a year. So we had to pay double for either a whole year or a couple months. That sucked.
What happened to all the money that she sent to the wrong address?
Don't know. I don't know. They said they wouldn't credit it or anything. I'm not even sure what the address was. She said it was just something that she didn't see. And I was like, well, I wasn't gonna harp her about it because she did so much. So I was like, I'm not gonna say what the heck are you doing? No, sure. Don't need that to blow up. I know she felt bad enough.
So, Chris, what do you think we could have done better? What could have made you tell us the truth that night? What did you need to hear from us that you didn't?
Not really. I'm not sure what really goes to people's minds when they're in an interrogation room. When I was in there with you and Graham, I was just nervous. I knew I had done something wrong, and I knew you probably already knew or were going to find out. And it's just I've watched enough, TV shows to kind of see okay, what's going to happen next type thing. I never knew if that's right. but I think it's just the horror of like knowing what you did and trying to tell somebody else what you did. That's what kept me from doing it, because I didn't even want to admit to myself that I had done anything. So I knew what I had done. I knew how bad and horrific it was. I knew how bad I was going to hurt other people. I just couldn't even admit to myself that I had done it. Because I couldn't even tell my attorneys I did it until like 2 weeks later.
So were you trying to save us from the horror of it, or
it was just a matter of I couldn't admit to myself. How could I admit it to you?
So do you think any amount of us asking you things different ways would have helped, or do you think anything would have helped?
I think if maybe you didn't ask about if Shanann hurt the kids, if you would ask the other if something in that a different order of question, maybe it would have came out a different way. Because that's the only reason I went with that story, is because that was.
Well, you weren't giving us anything
I know.
else. That was the problem. But
I know.
so if we would have said, what do you think?
You would have said, I think you'd have probably had to, if the video didn't show them in the truck, you probably had to have lied and just said, we saw the kids in the truck. I mean, I hate to say you would have to, lie to get me to say what you wanted me to say, but it might have been that.
That we saw the kids in the truck?
When we were talking, there was a point where you just said, "Can I talk to my dad?" You just want to tell him first.
I just wanted to, tell him that, that I loved him and that it's probably the last time you're going to see me again, as far as, outside of a cell, pretty much.
You looking forward to the time?
Yeah, because just talking on the phone, it's just totally different when you see him, see a face, It's like when we got on that little video conference in Love County, it was all I could do to stop, just not to just break down on that phone. So it'd be good to see them.
What do you get to do when they're here?
Like this.
Like in a room like this with a
If
table?
there's a visiting center, down in my unit, and I don't know what it looks like, but I know they said it's tables, and it's pretty much they set up a time and you get a couple hours.
That would
Just,
be good.
yeah, just in that little center, and I'm not sure what else is in there, but I just know there's tables. I think there's vending machines and stuff like that. But it'll be good to see them, and unfortunately they can't bring their phones in or anything, so I was hoping they could maybe show me a video or two, but I don't have or a picture. But they pretty much only let you come in with your ID. That's it.
Can they mail you still photos or anything like that?
Yep, they can do the still photo. Just sometimes they try to play a video over the phone for me, and it's it's really fuzzy and crackles a lot, so you really can't hear anything.
If you have any other questions for us, or do you ever wonder, I wonder why they did this, or I wonder why the investigation went this way, or...
I think the first time I was brought in, I think it was the 14th, I believe, when I met you that night. I mean, you told me there was a bunch of other people coming in for statements. Was that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple people.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were a lot.
There were a lot, actually, yeah.
Okay. So
We had a whole board worth of people listed and agents out.
Yeah.
They didn't get the attention you got that night, but...
Yeah, I just wish none of this had ever happened, honestly. It's just you guys could have never had to come to them. You guys never had to meet me or anything like that. None of it ever felt real. Especially when they put me in that suicide watch cell, and last thing that one of those guys said was good luck, and just slammed the door, and I just kind of knew from then on that was it.
The deputy said that?
One of the guys, they call them the SOG guys, Special Operations Group in the Will County Jail.
Yeah.
That was it. Next morning, like when I got out to take a shower, I saw the newspaper and there was this big piece cut out of it. Just know what that was about, and that's kind of saw like my last name around like go. And it begins.
If we came back to talk to you someday, would you be inclined to talk to us again? Okay.
Yeah, today just took me off guard. I had no idea.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to tell you we were coming just because we didn't want you to have anxiety about us coming.
I would have had anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we figured the blitz attack was probably the best course today.
It's like the first time we met.
Right. Oh, you knew when you were meeting me.
I just did. Yeah, you just don't have all your props here today.
That's right. Store props, man. That was
Sophisticated equipment.
It is.
Right?
That's right. Sophisticated instrument.
I don't know that that's going to happen. We might not ever see each other again. But
I didn't think we would, honestly.
your experience is definitely interesting. You yourself are definitely interesting. We see things in you that we didn't expect to, and we don't see things in you that we expected to see. So it's very interesting to us, and it's. I hope you can take to heart that today was a lot about us learning how to do better, how to talk to people better, how to do investigations better.
I mean, like, I had never talked to a police officer before, or like FBI, CBI, anything like that. So that was all new to me. Like I said, everything that I've ever seen as far as the authorities has been on TV. So I didn't know like what to expect, especially when I got in that interrogation room. It just felt like it's exactly what it looked like. Just like we got some poke and prod, and then we come back in. It's like give me time to stew, give me time to think, and it's just like it works. It just really just drills more questions into your own mind instead of just staying in their room and just asking questions all the time.
Mm-hmm. You liked it when we took breaks? Like, you think that worked on you?
I did.
So you were like watching videos with girls at one point. Do you remember that? Them giggling and laughing and...
Like when I was in the interrogation room?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I didn't. I thought you already had my phone at that point.
No, we didn't take your phone towards the end. Towards the end.
Okay.
That was weird for me.
It's like when you put that picture in front of me,
Yeah.
and that's what probably made me do it. I didn't have a signal in there, but that's like the videos I had on my phone. Which is like, I wish I had taken those videos out more often before all that had happened. But that definitely got in my head a lot. I don't know where that picture was from because I've never seen that picture.
The one we showed you? Really?
I've never seen CC in that dress before.
Really? We talked a lot about that dress.
Yeah.
Is that just
And you were
you
saying...
making it up?
I never saw her in that dress.
You were even telling us when she last wore the dress
About
and the boots.
Not that dress.
Those are her favorite winter boots, and she wears
Oh,
them
the
all
winter
summer.
boots. Winter boots, yeah, but that white dress was a little different. I've never seen that picture.
No, because you talked about buttoning it up. You said, I remember, because she just wore it the other day, and I had to button up the back, and...
Must have been a different dress, but not that one.
Huh.
That picture, was that North Carolina, or was that...
I don't know where the
Pulled
picture
it off
came
of
from.
Facebook. Shannon's Facebook.
So maybe it was while you weren't there or something?
Might have been, yeah.
Because you don't recall that, huh?
Because there's a lot of pictures I guess I didn't see when they were in North Carolina that my parents have. Like especially like 4th of July and stuff, and I had like 4th of July dresses on and stuff like that I never saw.
Oh.
Some I had on my phone, but that white dress I never, like they were, like she was going to church or something. I just never saw that white dress. And Bella's little dress that she had. Her little awkward smile there in the back. Yeah, that definitely grabbed my head when I did that.
When we had the picture out there for you? See, to us it didn't feel like that because we
I know,
really
I didn't
didn't
show
elicit any emotion.
I
Yeah.
don't show emotion that much. It's like my dad. It's like we don't show emotion. Like
Were you fighting it down, or were you just not a guy to show it?
most of the time, I'm not a guy to show it. Like I hold it in as much as I can, and in my cell, I cry a lot, obviously, but I'm not really a guy to show it. I don't know, I try to hold it as much as I can.
You were a difficult guy to read, especially at the house that day. That makes total sense now.
Because I knew it was like, just because I was like in shock or just like disbelief or just like some people said I looked like I was a heartless, no soul person, soulless person. When they did like the TV interviews or something, I'm just like, I'm just glad I never saw it. I don't even want to know what I looked like, what I sounded like.
But you were obviously feeling it then, you just weren't.
Yeah, just like nothing registered at all. Everything was like just harbored deep down, and then like I think it was just one night when I was in my cell, it just all hit me all at one point. Not the fact that I was in jail, but the fact that like everybody was gone.
Right.
And none of it. I think if it was like like if something happens to your family, like in like an accident, like a car accident, or like something like horrible like that, it registers at one point. But if like you did it, I don't know if like it just doesn't register at one point. It's like in my head, it never registered.
Does it seem real now?
Oh, it feels real like every day. Like I see pictures, I just know like where they were at when they were doing that. When I first had like some type of hearing over the phone, and I heard like Frank and Sandy and Frankie and them, they were on the phone, and I forgot what kind of hearing it was. Something about like a probate hearing or something. I knew exactly where they were in the back. I heard the birds chirp. I knew they were on the back deck, and I just like walked back to my cell, just balled my eyes out because I knew exactly where they were. I knew how many times the girls were back there, and it's just weird how emotions is processed differently for me than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like you said, if you lost your kids in the grocery store for 5 seconds, you'd be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then like for me, it'd be like, I'd be panicked, but I probably wouldn't cry. I'd be like looking around trying to find them, but it's just like, it just processes different for me. I never knew why. Never know why. I don't want to think I'm like a cold-hearted person. It's just a matter of just don't show it. Show the emotion as much as other people do. Even when the girls left North Carolina, her Chan's brother, mom, and dad were all crying when they left. It's just kind of like, I never really saw my parents get like that when they left. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's like you're born that way.
Like your family doesn't show emotion like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my dad couldn't really speak at the sentencing hearing because he said he was kind of like, he said he was going to lose it. Like lose his emotions, that really hit me. It's kind of like I never seen him like that,
like vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Like nobody's really ever seen me that way either. That's why maybe I just.
Was it ever like you're a sissy if you're like that, or was it just something you just never did?
No, I never saw my dad cry, so maybe it's just something that was imprinted in my brain that maybe I should never cry. Maybe.
Was your mom like a loving mom, like a doting mom, and would give you affection and hugs and kisses? And...
Oh yeah, she'd always ask me what was going on. She said I was always hard to read. She never knew what was going on.
But did she still try and give you affection even growing up?
Yeah, she always. My sister was always a parent. It was always what was going on. She'd always she's always open with me. It was always just closed off. And she always wanted to know what was going on, how I felt. And I just okay. That's all I give her. Even if something was wrong, I would have probably never said anything because I'll deal with it myself. But I don't know if that just growing up that way just kept me that way. Deal with things on your own, but then they build up so much that you can't deal with them, and they take a hold of you. You never thought, in a way, could take hold of you.
So you think it was a result of just bottling up for so long?
Definitely.
What do you remember your dad saying at sentencing?
I remember there was a scripture. It was a 1 John 1-9, and then like a lot of it, their representatives said for him, and my mom said a lot. My mom spoke, but everything my dad had written down, the person said. But he was talking about going to Little League games and races and stuff like that, going to being my coach and everything like that. So now I can experience the same type of joy doing that for my girls.
I remember your mom saying she loves you and she always will.
Yeah.
That was pretty important to hear.
I think at the end she said, "I forgive you, son."
Yeah, that was big, right?
Yeah.
And your dad, when we came here today, we were just hoping and praying that you would take your dad's advice. Do you remember what he said? I hope if you ever get a chance to talk, you can talk about it.
Okay.
And I think that's what today was, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was. Didn't expect it to be today.
Yeah.
So DA made some comments during that sentencing hearing about your emotions and having no emotions, or do you remember all that?
Yeah, just like, he lied to us from the start and a couple other things. I believe that's what he was saying.
What do you think? Do you think he was anywhere close to? What do you think of? Basically, what is your opinion of what he said in that?
I mean, it's going to be, taking all his evidence and putting it into the story that he wanted to convey. And like, if you don't know me, that's where you're gonna portray me. Like, if you take everything from August 13th to now, like, that's how people are gonna know. There's no other way people are gonna opinionate themselves about me, just by what they see right there.
Right.
They're gonna say, okay, they look at the guy that did the interviews on the 14th, and they see, okay, that guy should be like, on his hands and knees, like crying his eyes out, and what's he doing? He's just like, he's just talking.
Right.
And they're just like, no, I know, and maybe got some information maybe from like her friends saying, he was cheating on her or something like that. He's a cold person. He was, trying to do this and that. It's like, they don't know me. That's always going to be their opinion about me. Because like, there was one church service, the only one I've been able to gone to in here, and it said, "You're not defined by one moment in your life." And I think that's like, people are defining me by one moment in my life. They don't know like what happened before or what can happen later.
Right.
So I just hope that hopefully one day people can stop judging everybody. There's tons of people in here that I don't even want to know what they did because I don't want to judge them. Like, like, I'm not that person. Like, they know what I did. I'm not going to ask them what they did.
Makes sense. You did show some emotion during that hearing. What part did you think you felt most emotional?
I think I felt when Frank was talking about, when he, I didn't know what to expect when he first started talking, but he said I was the evil monster, and that rang in me, and he said I tossed him away like garbage, and that hurt. And when Sandy was talking about that video about when Bella was calling me her hero, and that triggered it a lot there. And then when Frankie was saying, like, I'll never be called uncle again, but you'll never be called a dad again. That really stung. But, when my parents got up there, just hearing my mom and dad talk, just like, they really couldn't look at me, but I just felt like, everything they said, saying like they forgive me and that, I'm still their son. No matter what.
Yep.
I know, like, even my attorneys told me, like, you need to show a little more emotion, because I guess the first time I went to the courtroom, I didn't know what to expect. I was still, like, new to everything, just in shock about what was going on, and they said I was just a cold person, just looking at me. So when I did the plea and at the sentencing hearing, it just all of it felt just more real than anything.
I remember growing up, my pastor used to tell me, better to be 1 foot out of hell facing heaven than 1 foot out of heaven facing hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's you. You've been to hell and now you're facing the right direction.
I definitely feel like I never knew I could have a relationship with God like I do now, but that's like the amazing grace with all of this, but I just wish nobody had to pay any kind of price for this.
Yeah.
I know there's a purpose for everybody. I just hope that I can find mine.
Well, I think you're seeking peace, right? That's good.
It's the only thing you really can do right now is to seek peace and pray that everybody can find it too.
Good.
For everybody that was involved, like for all of you and just all your team and everybody, friends, anybody that was involved.
What do you want to happen with this information?
I mean, I know you're probably going to tell Frank and Sandy and Frank, you just kind of give them a little closure, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to tell them. Obviously, you know Sandy better than I. She wants to know everything. But I'm going to digest a little bit before I talk to them about it. So I don't think there's any rush on that. And then, but other than that, I have no intention of talking to anybody outside of law enforcement. But what would you like to see happen with it?
I mean, I'd like to tell my parents, like, you know, when they get here, instead of like finding out anywhere else.
Yep.
Because I know like they've been bombarded with information from like, you know, from the Amanda girl to the Trent guy to from like people going on Inside Edition saying they knew me or went out with me or had like whatever else with me. And it's like, I don't want them to think that it's like other like false information going out there. Because like people are getting hold of information, like where did they get this information from type deal. You know? So,
Would you like to see those people charged?
you know, people take advantage of situations, and you know they gotta honestly they'll have to look into themselves and just figure out why they did it themselves. So I mean, I don't think charging them would help. I think they just need to work out whatever they got going on within themselves. I mean,
Did you ever have a profile on Tinder or anything like that? Any of those dating websites or anything?
no. I just had Facebook, Instagram. But I didn't even know what the WhatsApp thing was called. That's when I was like, John,
You never heard of that?
no, I was just like, I don't even know what that is, man. This guy's fishing for something. So, just sorry you had to waste your time and go out there and talk to him.
It was a big time waster.
It was a big waste of time.
Yeah. But you would not want to be listed as a victim in that case, as far as him being charged with like false reporting.
I mean, he's whoever's gonna try to get their 5 minutes, 50 minutes of fame, whatever they want to do with this. I mean, that's on them. I mean, if he's willing to do that, then he needs to figure out what's going on with himself before, like, you know, I don't think charging him with something's gonna fix that. So it'd just be a waste of time, I think.
Anything else before we send you away?
Don't be afraid to ask.
How things in Colorado now? I mean, since all this has happened, everything's quiet now. Everything's cool. And
Well, we had another guy murder his fiance, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. So that's made a lot of news too. I'm sure you've probably seen that on the news. No. So,
everything here is based. Well, I think the only thing here was like that Jamie Kloss thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
oh yes, we were just talking about that out front.
That the girl was kidnapped.
Yeah.
She escaped after like 90 days.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He'll probably come here. Everybody
Yeah,
comes
they
here.
said he's in some county jail. Is that right?
Yeah,
What should we say? Barron or something?
Barron.
Yeah, so all I see here is like stuff I try to. It's like everything happened here. So You guys stay tonight there, watch out. Sorry.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Do you mind if I take a picture of you just to show what you look like now? You just look so different then.
Just, you know, like,
It's not going to go on social media or
Okay.
anything. It's just for like our own records.
okay,
Is that okay?
that's fine.
Were you asking him something?
Nah.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's like the roads in the background scary enough. You know, more.
I know. When it's snowing, it's horrendous.
Reminds me of days of ice racing. Actually.
Of ice racing?
Yeah, we had spikes on the tires then. So.
Oh.
All right, Chris, we're going to let you get back to your day. Want another minute to finish your drink?
Yes, they won't let me take that back. Yeah, I had to shave. They recommended I change my appearance at the RDC. So,
Why is that? Just so people didn't recognize you? No.
yeah, I just shaved it all off. And that razor, like I said, the razor they have here, it's like it's a single blade. So like I'm
A
like,
safety razor, right?
oh, it's more than safe. That's just like it's more safety than actually a razor.
That's why it doesn't shave.
Is it like a sharp rock or?
Right?
Just imagine shaving the same spot for like 5 minutes, and then it finally,
Something starts going.
it starts. It's like I gotta warm it up or something. I don't know.
You'd probably be better just plucking them out on your fingers or something.
That would be more, you know. Everything here is for safety, so like,
Yeah.
I think like once I get moved to GP, I could have something different. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
because most of the guys around here they can't have razors, so. That's,
Well, that makes you feel better, probably.
well,
But
they
they're
don't have to
not.
watch me. Other guys, they stand next to them while they shave. So that would be kind of weird.
Oh.
So they have any other jobs like if like fleet? Would you be able to go work fleet maintenance or anything like that?
I got classed down to like a minimum, or like a low medium. They have guys that like run across the street to like a records building and work over there. I don't know, like, you know, they said it takes a while to get classed down from like maximum to medium.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure like if they here. I don't know if they'd ever take me back to Colorado, or I don't know what their plan would be.
Right.
I'm not sure if that happens or not.
Yeah. That's all pretty secretive, and then right up to the minute they do it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You guys gonna do exploring around here?
I don't think so. Everything's covered in snow. It's freezing.
We were such wimps when we walked out.
Maybe go rent a snowmobile.